Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Listening, what is Raycash? So Raycash is a self-custodial bank, and it runs on private digital dollars. It means that we can use public blockchains, but we can use it in a way such that all our balances and the amounts of our transactions remain confidential. And we will see in a second how we do that. First of all, why creating another crypto banking account? We see that there are so many. Some of them are actually very, very good. The other people are creating amazing products with them. I think about Gnosis Pay. I think about MetaMask. You can name it. Coinbase just made another one, a crypto card. So we don't lack good banking crypto accounts. So why another one? Well, because the ones that already exist fit in two categories. There are the custodial ones, which means they take all your money and they basically have custody of them and they give them to you most of the time, right? And the problem is that in crypto, we know that not your key, not your money. And we love the fact that this gives access to a lot of people to crypto, but this is also not the way we imagine crypto needs to go. And this, of course, has other problems, like the fact that these custodials can, at any moment, decide or be forced to basically sever the access to your money. The alternative, the other category, is the non-custodial ones. And these are perfectly aligned with the crypto ethos because they are self-sovereign and you have your keys, nobody can take them off you. But there is one problem, which is also the reason why we're here in this Zama coffee shop today. And the problem is that they are completely transparent and everybody can see exactly what you're doing, to the point, and this is, I think, the best advert for Raycash, that there is an actual Dune dashboard of the highest spenders on MetaMask card. There's also another one for Gnosis Pay, I think. So imagine that you use your Amex and there is a global dashboard that they can see who is the highest spender on Amex. I think that that needs to be done in a better way. And we see that the privacy has a gap. We call it the privacy gap because if you chart the amounts that are transacted and the need for privacy, it's probably okay to don't have privacy for small things like paying for a coffee, buy a pair of shoes, a ticket, splitting a dinner with your friends. But as the amounts tend to go up, so does the need for privacy. And it's unthinkable to imagine your payrolls done on public blockchain. It's unthinkable to imagine your company be receiving customer funds on public blockchains. And only at the very end, we might see sometimes very edge cases where privacy is less needed. Things like, I know, big investors writing checks to founders or exchanges between, I know, Coinbase or Stripe sending a few $1,000,000. Not big either. If we see that, that's not a big problem. But in the middle, the need for privacy is absolutely essential. And I heard that phrase in the conference on Sunday, I think. I don't remember from who, but it really stuck with me. And a house without walls is not only transparent, is inhabitable. And this is exactly how Ethereum feels today for personal and business finance. It is impossible to inhabit the Ethereum house if we want to run our financial lives on that. And at the same time, the paradox is that we don't want to go anywhere else. Ethereum is amazing. We love Ethereum. It has the most amazing technology, the best developer community. And if you just look at how it was 5 years ago, it just keeps getting better and better and better non-stop. So we're not going anywhere. We want to stay on Ethereum, and we want people to use the stablecoin that they are already used to have in their pockets. And the way we do that is thanks to Zama. So Zama is solving exactly this problem. Instead of spinning up yet another blockchain, we stay where we are. We stay close to our users, and we just give them the superpower of privacy. And how does this work? It works by basically taking existing ERC20 tokens, existing stablecoins, and wrapping them into confidential. And this means wrapping means that you give one of your tokens to a smart contract and receive back a digital twin that now has confidentiality at its core. And once you have this digital twin, you can just use it like any other ERC20 stablecoin. You can just transact with people and receive other confidential stablecoins, and just as I said, like any other ERC20 token. But there's one problem. The problem is that confidentiality without compliance is just chaos. If we imagine a world where people can just wrap any ERC20 token and receive back immediately confidential version of the token that can be used in an untraceable way, of course, there is an invitation for chaos. We can expect that eventually some illicit funds are going to make it through and are going to ruin the party for everybody. So what we did with Raycash is solving that very problem. The problem is how we guarantee the confidential stablecoins are actually legit. They don't mix and hide funds coming from illicit activities. And how do we do this in a way that doesn't break the principle of self-custody of your funds? So the way that we do that is with what we call the Raycash wrapper, which is what we call the rule-based wrapping. And for the people in this room that are familiar with protocols like Railgun and privacy pools, we draw inspiration from those very protocols. Because the way it works is that anybody can deposit their ERC20 tokens, and they stay in a quarantine period for a few hours, such that we can run all the checks on those funds. We can run all the industry standard tools like chain analysis, elliptics, predicate, and so there's a bit of noise. And once the checks are passed and the quarantine time has passed, then that is the time when these deposited stablecoins can be withdrawn into confidential. If for any reason the deposits trigger some alert, they are flagged and they are not able to convert into confidential, but they can only be withdrawn back by the original depositor in clear text. And the consequence of that is that now we have a pool of confidential stablecoins. There's a network of confidential stablecoins on Ethereum mainnet that is basically guaranteed to don't have any illicit fund into them. It's not hiding any bad activity. And this gives confidence to finally build good products on the privacy tokens. So yeah, this is what I just mentioned. So what happens when you have privacy and provable innocence? Well, first of all, we have self-custodial consumer banking. So now we can offer things like bank accounts, card, direct debits, and savings, remittances, all the things that you expect from your bank, and that to some degree are already happening with some protocol on the blockchain, but in a fully transparent way this time, in a fully private way this time. And you can also have confidential self-custodial treasury management. This is very important because the need for privacy is incredibly fundamental for businesses. And eventually, we can have confidential apps. Confidential apps are basically apps that take the user and ask to the user, can I see your balance? Can I do this thing with your confidential stablecoin? And just like we are used to grant visibility when we log in on Web2 services like Google or GitHub, where we say, okay, this service wants to see your date of birth, your name, and you can select, you can restrict the scope. The same is with Raycash, when you can say, yes, I want to grant this tool, this app, the ability to view my confidential tokens. And there's a lot of things that you can do with these. You can imagine, for example, tools like TurboTax. You can imagine things like dApps that want to give you some loyalty points if you have a certain balance. And this is possible thanks to what is called selective disclosure. So you, as the holder of the tokens, you can select what you want to disclose to whoever is asking you. And yeah, we're just getting started. Our bar is very high. That's why we're going to keep building before we go live. We're not rushing anything. We want to do something that gives to our users so much confidence that they are happy to use it as their default deposit for their money, for their income, and eventually ditch their own bank accounts. And we can expect to have a private demo already next year. And we invite you, everybody, to have, first of all, coffee on us and enjoy the time at the Raycash Day, but also register and be there for when the private beta is launched. So this is it for now. You can catch me and the team around the room for all the time that you want. And I hope that you have a great day, and thank you for coming over. This is very important for us, and I hope it is important for you.